Most of what people tell you about software engineering careers is total bullshit. I went from $500 to $17,000 a month as a dev from developing country without leaving my hometown.
By the end of this video, you will be ready to stop earning local wages and get your first high-paying international job. Here are also results of my students. More info in the description.
Here are 5 rules to fix wrong mental models that your peers and community have been feeding you with. Number 5 is the most powerful one. Rule number 1, market rules are bullshit. I met lots of talented developers that were stuck in salary gap trap or salary ceiling only because they thought
that the number of years of experience was the only and final criterion for becoming a mid, senior or lead. As if their knowledge, skills, soft skills, business domain expertise, potential impact on the project, and plenty of other factors didn't matter at all.
If I were thinking about myself through the perspective of years spent in technologies, certifications, or even the years of experience, then I would be stuck in my career, not living ever Poland, and I would have never visited 50 countries and worked for the most important company in the world.
And I say it to show off. I mean to inspire, I always mix those up.
The solution is to start applying for roles you feel insufficient for. Let companies decide whether they need you and let the market decide your seniority. Rule number 2, positioning is everything. There is no other way for a company to evaluate your skills but through what they see about you online and what they can experience during the interview process. Unfortunately, recruiters will see you through the perspective of years of experience in technologies overall, and I would not recommend that, but I know people that added years of experience in their CVs and were completely fine. Sometimes it required them to grind over first months of their job, but after that period they were completely fine and they worked for years in those companies, so the employer gained the value that they wanted without wasting time looking for somebody else. But normally they would have been filtered out because they lacked numbers, and sometimes it is just half year or 3 months with some particular library that you can learn over 2 weeks if you are experienced developer.
And there are people working for one company on one project for years, and then they have, let's say, 5 years of experience, but in reality 5 times 1 year. On the other side, we have developers that are passionate, sometimes working 2 jobs, sometimes grinding after work, but their CV doesn't look as impressive. We all know that software engineering,
it is all about foundations, problem solving and adaptability. But sourcers and AST programs, they don't know that and they need some kind of standardization. So anyways, do not hesitate to this game. I know that interviews are broken, but this is the only way they can verify you. So your job is to optimize them as much as you can, especially that once you get very good at interviews, nothing will stop you from negotiating above salary forks. Rule number 3. Listen to Warren Buffett. It doesn't matter how hard you row, it matters which boat you get in. Lots of devs are limited by the passport trap. If you are not from the US, UK, Switzerland, or even if you are from small town in Ohio, then you will never earn as much as some programmer from New York or LA. You have to switch to international contracts as quickly as possible. But this is totally different game because you will be competing against local talents. And there is no way that you will compete against them with your English or culture fit. That's why you have to find a niche. If the niche will be painful enough to the business and narrow enough so you can master it quickly, then you will look for contracts as an expert and no longer as some kind of immigrant. And you don't need years of experience. As you can see here, I didn't have 10 or 15 years of experience when I was working as a consultant for this Scottish startup. Rule number 4, look for the proof. If you want to polish your LinkedIn CV, then do not focus on keywords and years before gathering skills. And there are 3 ways on how to showcase your skills. One is that you say that you are good at something. Second is that you can show that you are good at something. And third one is that somebody else says that you are good at something. Which one do you think is the most important?
You can write in the comments.
The right answer is all of them. So instead of trying to put more keywords and better descriptions in your CV, start building real solutions. Instead of saying that you are good at public speaking, go to local meetup and conduct a speech about algorithms, how you solve certain problems in your projects or any other topic. Start helping others, start mentoring juniors for testimonial. Rule number 5, imposter syndrome is good. Imposter syndrome, it is a sign that you are getting out of your comfort zone. As a child, I was training sports acrobatics, and I remember that each time I was learning new element, first times without assecuration were super stressful. My heart was beating like crazy and my palms were sweating. But after 5-10 attempts, I was already feeling more or less comfortable with that. After hundreds or thousands, it was just like a breathing.
It's called habituation.
And in software engineering, it is actually the same. When you are learning something for the first time, it will always be a little bit stressful. It will always cause a little bit of imposter syndrome, procrastination, and it is absolutely normal. If you want to grow, you have to seek more opportunities and more things that stress you out and make you nervous. So apply to that job you don't feel good enough for. Start that SaaS application. Start vlogging, create that course. If you will break those things into small pieces, then you will see that the same like with building programs and applications, it will be not as scary anymore. No system was built over a night. It normally requires day after day, slow and consistent work. In life, it's absolutely the same. Just remember, whenever something feels out of your comfort zone, you have to go into this direction. There are more self-limiting beliefs and app strategies that are super popular among dev communities, false beliefs that hold programmers back from getting promoted, getting better job, and starting to live the way we always wanted. If you want to know more, join our community. Over there, you will find a course that will help you to polish your CV, online presence, figure out your niche, and start international career. Lots of our students, only after completing this chapter, started earning even 50% more. So do not hesitate, go to the link in the description, and we see each other on the other side.